I want to first thank you for taking the time to meet with me. We greatly appreciate it, and we're looking forward to learning more about Phyne Games and your game, Mictlan.
Okay, well, thank you very much, Karen, to take the time to talk with us. We're very excited. In the name of Jair and myself, we're very excited with this interview. And okay, I will talk about how Phyne Games started. We were in university, Jair and I, so we thought, well, let's make a game. And we tried with many teams there, but we failed in a lot of times. So one day we said, you know what, let's make the game by ourselves. Let's not invite anyone else, because sadly, but they were like pulling us from making our game. So we gathered and we started making this game. Basically, that's the story behind Phyne Games. We wanted to make games, and that's it. Right now, we're a more consolidated company. We're working to make this company like here in Mexico, making all the paperwork to establish like a legally company and that kind of stuff. But that's the story behind Phyne Games. Now about Mictlan, we wanted to make a game about our favorite things here in Mexico, because basically when you're at university, you want to make like another RPG or another Space Marine game, but we didn't want to make that. So we were thinking, we went to Starbucks to brainstorm, and that's where Mictlan came. We have some various inspiration, games, books, videos, a lot of stuff, but that's how Mictlan was born. That's basically, we wanted to make a game that people who played it was really aware that, well, this is new. Maybe they don't know that it's a Mexican game, but they can tell, oh, okay, this thing is new. I haven't seen something like this before.
And why was the platform Windows Phone 7 chosen?
I don't know if people is aware that the Windows Phone platform uses some tools that you can use on an Xbox 360. So you can make an indie game for Xbox 360 using this tool that is called XNA. In the past, I did some prototypes using XNA for Xbox. So when we knew that Windows Phone was coming out and that it was using the XNA, it was like a clear step for us. It worried us a bit, the thing that it was a new platform and it was competing with Android and iPhone, but I think the risk was worth trying, so we did that.
And why are you choosing to work as independent developers?
Well, we wanted to make this game like our game of our dreams, our first game of our dreams, so we didn't want to have anyone behind our backs telling us what to do, oh, you know, this doesn't work, this won't sell, this theme is unknown for people, so nobody will want to buy it, to download it. So we didn't want that. At first we talked with a publisher in Mexico. They weren't excited about the game, to be honest. They were like, it's okay, keep trying, but they weren't interested. That's the reason we wanted to make this game the way we wanted to have complete freedom.
And can you describe Mictlan, the gameplay, story, etc.?
Mictlan is a wall defense game. This genre is a game where you have on the left side of the screen the parts that you want to protect, and from the right, the enemies keep coming. So you have to use items, you have to use your skills to prevent those monsters to come from the right to the left side of your screen. You control a little schoolboy named Luno. You have achievements to unlock. You have modes, story mode and arena mode. On the story mode, you unlock a few illustrations for the story, and in the arena mode, you just keep fighting and fighting forever. So you have to beat your high scores. the story is it's based on the Mexican Day of the Dead. It's like Halloween in the United States. So this kid Luno is asking for calaverita, trick or treat. This kind of the same thing. A car hits him, so he dies. It's nothing like a big scene or something. He just dies, and he goes to Mictlan, the Mexican counterpart for death, where dead people goes. So there he sees that an invasion is coming, so he must stop it. And this invasion, in fact, is the Halloween party from the States, because here in Mexico we're losing some part of our traditions, and we're adopting traditions from other countries. So it's kind of a reference to that Luno is trying to stop these other things that I don't say that I don't like them, but are destroying kind of our festivities. That's the story behind Mictlan, and you have to play to have the full picture of the story, and it's a cool story.
And why did you choose to integrate elements from Day of the Dead into Mictlan?
First of all, because we love that festivity, that day. When we were kids, it was cool to get a costume and go to the streets to ask for calaverita. And well, basically we think that it's kind of the coolest things that we have in Mexico, festivities. We have other like related to historical things that have happened here that are cool, but this one, at least from my point of view, is the one that have like magic and all these kind of elements that are fun to play with. So that's why these elements are in Mictlan.
Do you plan to create other culturally focused games?
We do. We want to create other games like Mictlan with this kind of culture base, but we're also open to create other things, maybe things that are not even from any specific country or just things that just pop up from our minds. We're open to that. But yeah, definitely we want to express to the world Mexican things that maybe they don't even know, and even Mexicans are not aware of the richness of this cultural aspect. So we definitely want to share more of these games to the world.
In your blog on Gamasutra, you said that you were interested in having a Mexican visual style, but without being too local. How did you strike that balance, and why did you try to be subtle with cultural references for foreign markets?
You can play the game even if you don't know where it comes from or anything about the festivity, because as a game you just use the different items. Some of them at first are like strange. You don't know, like a flower, what's a flower doing on the game, but then you see that, well, okay, it's a bomb. You make that connection, so you don't have to specifically know that this flower represents something, because those items actually represent something from the Dia de Muertos festivity. But in the game, you don't have to be aware of all of these like meanings for stuff. You just have to concentrate on that. On the other part, we didn't want to distract the player from the gameplay itself, because, for example, you have an achievement screen that represents something called an ofrenda. Is like a kind of altar to the dead people that we in Mexico placed in Dia de Muertos, where you put the favorite food for your father, for your mother, everyone who is now dead. So we have on the game that altar, that representation, but actually, yeah, by the end of the day, it's just a screen where you can see your achievements, you know. And also, we don't want to distract the player from the game, like making him, okay, what does this mean? What is this thing? So the player should just play and enjoy the game. Also, if they're interested in the festivity, they can go to Wikipedia and find out more. But basically, we don't want to interrupt the player from the game itself.
What feedback have you received from players about the cultural references, visual style, etc. of the game?
Actually, we are really amazed about our fans because on the reviews from the Windows Marketplace, a lot of guys really love the art style, the Mexican references. We're really amazed that a lot of people know actually that this is a Mexican festivity. I don't know if they just stumbled on the game and thought, oh, okay, this is a Mexican festivity, or they did a little of research or something. But a lot of people is very excited about this kind of style for the game. The story, people from Canada, from United States, from Mexico itself, from a lot of countries are happy with the game. So it was a really good thing to make this art style, this theme, to use this theme, because people are really loving it.
What kind of music do you have in Mictlan, and why did you select that music?
Okay, we have original music for Mictlan. Well, kind of original music because the music you hear on the menus was made by a friend of Jair's, a Mexican rock musician. So he made the game, the music inspired in the game. So it was pretty cool. The other song that is in the game, it's a remix from a very traditional song here in Mexico called La Llorona, the crying woman. It's an open song, so anyone can play with that, change it. So it's like free open source if you want to. And it's a remix of that. So that song is what really inspired us to make the game. So the song had to be there, and Enrique, the sound designer, worked really hard to make that mix, and it sounds really cool. So that's basically the sound behind Mictlan.
Do you plan to translate Mictlan into other languages, and if so, which languages?
We definitely want to translate Mictlan because at first we were really confident that English was the universal language and everybody speaks English, or at least everyone with a smartphone speaks English. The game is not even in Spanish. It's kind of sad. We were working on making at least the game in Spanish. But yeah, we want to translate the game for Chinese, at least at first, because a lot of downloads come from China. So we want to give the Chinese players, I don't know if a lot of the Chinese guys downloaded the game and knows English, but for those who don't, we want to give them the game in their original language. So we're targeting for now Chinese and Spanish are our priorities. There are other countries in our list that also we want to give the game in their native language, but for now those are our priorities.
Mm-hmm. You've mentioned a couple different locations, Canada and the United States and China. Where are your players mostly based then?
We have like this huge list from the marketplace report with specific countries, but I will give you the top 4 countries that have downloaded Mictlan. First one is the United States. A lot of people from United States are downloading Mictlan. The second was China, so that's why we want to target Chinese. The third one is Taiwan. We didn't imagine that. And the fourth one is Mexico. So that's the 4 countries that are downloading Mictlan the most. There are some other countries still. Windows Phone is entering to Latin American marketplaces, so we're not sure if those downloads are from people that went to the United States and then came back with a telephone or something. But yeah, we have downloads from Argentina, from Brazil, a few from Chile and Peru. But to be honest, I'm not sure which countries have already Windows Phone released there. So I don't know. Maybe some guys registered that at United States are from Latin America, but kind of these are the reports we have from the marketplace.